Right now, this is a very, very, very exciting time to get on board here at Tuskegee University. The greatest priorities right now centers around doing a master plan for the university. Right now we have quite a bit of needs. The president is expecting us to consider a lot of his initiatives. A lot of his initiatives require physical improvement, physical expansion, and we have to do that in a very systematic way, a very orderly way. And the way that's typically done is through a master plan, which takes a lot of the future of Tuskegee University in a direction where we can see it now, but project it out for 15, 20 years. Construction costs a lot of money. As I said in a meeting this morning, these are not $10 and $20 issues that we deal with. We deal in some cases with millions and tens of millions of dollars. And if you want to make certain that there's an integrity in the process, you got to make sure that you have a process that meets the industry standards. The way we bid work around here, the way we procure contractors, the way we procure architects, we want to develop standards for doing such services. We also want to put out standards that will hold and maintain and improve, in some cases, the historic preservation of this campus. I think that this campus has beautiful architecture, old and new. I think architects have to understand how to address that when they begin to affect the built environment, and that all has to work together. Buildings are not something that you dispose of in 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 years. Buildings, and as you know around here, buildings stay around for decades. And what effect does that have on the university, and how do you do that? I think proper planning has to be done, proper standards have to be put in place to address those issues. Tompkins Hall, no doubt about it, is the most complicated, the most extensive, the most visible, and the most needed building, in my opinion, right now. If you've gone by Tompkins Hall, you can barely recognize it in its current state. But that's all in an effort to make certain that at the end of the day, we have a very nicely renovated building for our students to use. Tompkins Hall is what we would consider major heart surgery. If you go by there right now, you can peep through some of the windows. The only thing that's there now really are the perimeter walls. The interior facility has been gutted from the interior, and we're looking at building back on the inside and preserving the exterior envelope. So when it comes back to life, we will have a very well preserved building, a very attractive building, and a very functional building, all in under the auspices of giving our students a better place to eat, a better place to live and play. There's a lot of recreational functions in that building and so forth. So Tompkins Hall is a very needed building right now for our students. Rockefeller Hall, not just Rockefeller, but Harvey as well. Those two existing buildings have been renovated on the interior to where the spaces and how they are arranged really bring in a very different living arrangement. And what I mean by that is we're going to call it a suite style arrangement, where it's not just your traditional dormitory feel, if you want to call it that. These are very nice spaces for students to live. I think the students will appreciate the fact that they have what we would call a very modern way to live. In there, you have all the technology that students require, Wi-Fi, and all the infrastructure for technology that's there for students to utilize. But more importantly, it's their living conditions, their living spaces. We think that those spaces are first class. Those are the types of spaces that we will be looking to the future to create for the rest of our residence halls. And we think that at this point, when a student has a nice place to live, you can keep that student here on campus. They can appreciate the value of where they live and the value of their education. So we want to make certain that these living conditions are state of the art. And I think that right now is the most interesting set of projects that we have. Once we began to realize that the student is really why we're here, I think what we'll recognize is the fact that these buildings are mere vessels to get the education into the minds of the student that can take us from here to Morocco, from here to Liberia, and all these other places that Dr. Roshan has talked about. But yet still, we still preserve and reserve the right to to declare Tuskegee as our home and the place we love.